anime is called From Country Bumpkin to Master Swordsman. As you can see, this is one of his students. Her name is this right here. I don't know how to say that. Crucial? Bro, what a complicated name. But anyways, this is one of his students, a blonde chick, alright? And I am convinced he's gonna marry one of them. So far, we have met several of his students. Here's another one. Her name is Facile Harbella. Oh man, what's up with these names? Are there? Is this like a European name? Are these like European names? This does look like a European settings. These don't look like your run-of-the-mill Japanese, you know, housing back in the Edo period. This is probably like, I don't know, guys. This looks like somewhere in Europe. But anyways, because they are swordsmen, they're not really like samurai. But anyways, this anime is about Bro, his name is hard too. Bro, what the heck? His name, okay, his name. Okay, say this with me, guys. Bro Gardenin, the backwater swordsman. So the swordsman, the backwater swordsman, we're gonna stick with that. Yeah, because that's just tough, guys. That is just, holy, the names are just tough. But here we go. This is what this anime is about. Bro, the swordsman, a self-proclaimed humble old man, is a sword instructor at his dojo in a rural backwater village. From his younger years, he dreamed of a glory of a master swordsman, but those days are long behind him. Out of the blue, he receives his visit from a famous former pupil who brings him some world-shattering news. He's been appointed as a special instructor for the Knights of the Order. With his life now turned upside down, Bro travels to the capital and reunites with some of his former students, elite knights, an ace wizard, and even an adventurer who's attained the highest guild rank possible. But why do they all want his tutelage? As far as he's concerned, they clearly don't need him anymore. Can Bro live up to his new position, and will he ever get moments peace away from his adoring students? And now, guys, his students are truly adoring, especially one of his students named this gal, Alucia Citrus. All right, I can say that, citrus. Bro, citrus? That's a fruit. That's a fruit. I'm telling you, man. It's not me. It's these names. Anyways, more about this girl. Burrow's former pupil, a proud commander in the Knights of Kingdom Liberis. How do you say that? Liberis? What the fuck? The one responsible for referring Burrow as instructor for the knightly order, deeply respects Burrow. And that's not all, guys. This chick shows a huge interest in him from that we saw from episode 1. They're the Swordmaster's parents were like, when are you gonna give us grandkids? We want grandkids. We want you to have babies. And so let's go to episode 1 over here. That's where it all happens. Right here, talking about their son. You know, why don't they have any grandkids? You know, and stuff like this. And so she comes and visits, and then their grandparents are like, damn, this could be a wife potential. And so right from there, I'm thinking, all right, we're getting somewhere. But then it's kind of shady because he knows them as, you know, kids, because he's been training them since they were young. You know, so right now they're like, this is like 10 years later when they come revisit him. Well, that's like, to me, it's like a little bit like, what?
Bruh.
I'm like, what's going on here? It's kind of shady because I understand if you didn't know them when they were younger and then you find someone who's actually younger than you, there's like a huge age gap. See, look, geez, there's an age gap just between us. So he's talking, see, he even mentions it. That's like perfect timing. You know what I'm saying? You're upsetting Alucia, or Alicia, we're gonna call her Alicia because of the age gap. And then over here, you're gonna see her in a bit, and she's blushing and stuff, and she was hoping that it wasn't actually a joke. And so, see, right here, she's the one that says he's messing around. Like, why would he be messing around about that? Because she really wanted it to be. See, look, she's blushing. She really thought that maybe he really did see her as a potential suitor to marry and have his kids, because they are talking about having kids, guys. And I'm not really surprised. You know, she grew up around him as her master. See, did you say something? So he saw her as not just not just his master, but a potential suitor in her future, because he's skilled, and he's older, and he is a man, he's a provider, and he's really strong. So he probably showed her as a young age, she saw him as someone who was worthy to protect her, and someone who has taught her. So I don't like, on her end, I don't really see it as shady, but on his end, it's kind of like, that's your students, bro. But anyways, I really do think that he'll finally be able to see past that and be like, they are adults now, I shouldn't really think like that. And besides, this is back in like just looking at how everything looks, this looks like back in like the 1600s, 1700s. So things back in those days, guys, like marriage and these age gaps, maybe for him, it's a little bit bothersome. Back in those days, I bet it's like way more common. And so, he'll probably look past that whole age gap thing. There's probably not a lot of guys who are well off in those days either, even though in the order there probably is. But yeah, let's go back to episode 2. That's where they really showed a lot of her past and a lot of the training that she went through as a young kid with him, with a younger girl. Admiral Beard. We're gonna call him Admiral Beard, or the guy from Mushoku Tensei, his dad. But Admiral Beard here, General Beard from the backwaters, he was way younger, and she was way younger. Like, pause. Like, bruh. So yeah, so you can see here, she was like super young when she got trained by her master. But I really do believe that he will either, 1, see past that, or 2, find out. And look, here's another one of his students that popped up here. She's all grown up as well. We pretty much met only 4 of his students. I don't know if he has any more students. We did meet the guy student that he trained. Let's see if we can find the girl I just showed you. But yeah, episode 2, I don't mind flashbacks, but it did take a little bit, this anime is going a little bit slow for my taste, but so far it has been entertaining. And it's not like I can't wait to see the next episode, but I really can't wait to see if he actually ends up marrying one of his students. Like, holy, can you believe that, guys? And then right here, I believe, yeah, this is when he had to prove himself. And right here, yeah, this is where we meet. We met one of his other students, Serena Lysandra. Bro, what's up with these names, bro? This has to be some Polish, Europeanish, Switzerland or something. Where does this take place? But anyways, guys, that's gonna be it. Honestly, I love the gals, I love the characters, and the guy really is humble. He's a well-rounded lad, old man, whatever. But anyways, I really hope he does see past the age gap, and perhaps we see past the whole, they were kind of young when he trained them, and he kind of has those memories. But honestly, guys, these days were different, where age wasn't really that big of a deal. And even in today's age, I think we're starting to see a big turn in even our modern day age, where age gap is not necessarily that big of a deal anymore. The women are young, and they're marrying older men, 30 to 40 years old, guys. Yeah, we live in different times now. But anyways, that's gonna be it, guys. Peace.